The quote was, "You are not because you know not how. You know not how because you seek not, and you seek not because you desire not, and you desire not because at the beginning I told you that you are not. Beginning you were told that you are not." And I put in a quote that you could change that up and take out "not" and reread it and put "you are because you know how." And you know how because you seek how. And you seek how because you desire. And you desire because you are. And that's the difference between how things are taught these days in the world. People are taught what not to do and stuff instead of, people are taught that they are not instead of that they are. Or you're not successful yet. You're not this yet, you're not that yet. Instead of, and the things that they are taught that they are, they're taught bad, like you're a sinner, you are unsuccessful, or you are a bad relationship right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they taught. And they constantly told that, and because they're constantly told that,
that's what they believe.
That's what they believe, so that's what comes out. But the thing about it is, you can go, you can also say, you are not because you know not how. But the thing about that is, no one cares to know how these days.
It's a voluntary ignorance.
Yeah. No one, anything that you want to know how to do can either be learned from Google, YouTube, or fucking a textbook or some type of book out of a library.
Yeah.
There's a book on it, or YouTube or Google. I say 95% of the things that you want to learn in life, you can find those 3 categories. And the other 5%, only God can tell you. Only God.
Nobody wants to put in the effort.
Exactly. You know not how because you, like I said, you know, it said you are not because you know not how. You know not how because you seek not. People don't seek for answers anymore. If I tell you, if you tell a person to change a tire or change oil on the car, they can say, I don't know how to do that, and they stop there. They never go to seeking, but this okay for you. But for a man, as a man, you should say, okay, let me learn how to fucking change oil on the car. You know what I'm saying? But they don't. They stop. Even though the knowledge is in the palm of their hands these days. They can easily go on YouTube, watch a fucking 10-minute video. It might be less, and find out how to change oil on the car. But they rather not.
It's a voluntary ignorance. So it's, how do you get people out of their complacency? How do you show people that, okay, you can learn this, or give them the internal motivation, or teach them to have the internal motivation to want to do those things?
You gotta have a good enough reason why. People aren't willing to do things without a good enough reason. They will seek how for a good enough reason. Like, for instance, a lot of people don't go to God and to prayer and all this stuff, go to church until things are really bad in their life. Why? Why you gotta seek God when you're at your lowest?
I need you now.
Exactly. People don't seek the help until they have no other option. Now they say, okay, well, I need this. Let me find out where it's going. Or when you can't afford to pay for somebody else to change your oil, then you okay, well, how can I change my oil so I can keep my car on my own? So now they go look it up. Now they have no choice. You know what I'm saying? And the other part of that was, okay, you know not how because you seek not, and you seek because you desire not. They've been taught not to desire. They've been taught not. Everything this in today's world is self-sufficient, and it's easy to access. Anything that's hard to access, people stay away from, like knowledge, going to school, reading a book. 9 times out of 10, you can learn, okay, maybe not as well, or maybe not as interactive, but you can learn the basis of anything out of a book versus even going to school. But people will not go to the library and read a book. Books are free. You ain't even got to buy the book. Go to Barnes and Nobles. Go sit inside, read a book while you're there.
Because they're complacent. So it's not necessarily, it's how to get people out of the complacency. Is if you're really trying to deal with the issue, how do you get people out of the complacency? How do you get people out of the mindset of average is okay, or accepting where I am is okay, or not striving for my best is okay?
You gotta teach them that. Like, you got kids that's growing up right now. All they see is my father's struggling. All they see is my mom and dad not getting along. All they see is school is failing. That's what they see, but you don't have to let them teach by default. Why your kids have to learn by default? Why aren't you teaching them how to have a successful relationship, how to have a successful marriage, how to have successful education?
How do you change that?
How do I change that?
How do you change that?
Me as a person?
You as one person, how do you change that?
By doing my part, practicing what I preach. By doing my part, doing whatever I can, whatever I think to do. And that's another thing. There's a lot of people that will come up to with an idea. It's like, okay, this is gonna be a good idea. This is something that can change minds. But they stop at, I know not how.
Yeah.
So they never get past it. They never change the heart. They never change the mind because they don't think, okay, I can't get past it. How do I get past it? They never seek to learn how to not get past it because they don't have that desire. That desire been killed a long time ago. The desire for people to want to know and knowledge and expand and grow. And in the urban communities, like there are people that do have their desire, but they're doing good in life right now. Because their desire keeps burning, they keep trying to figure things out until they figure it out. Failure is not an option to them. But for us it is. Okay, I tried this one time, it don't work. Well, this may not be meant for me. Let me go try something else. No. If that's what you passionate, that's what you feel like, if you feel like this ain't gonna change lives, change the world, why are you gonna try it one time?
Why not keep going?
The guy who built Ford dealership company, he tried over and over and over for years before he finally got it right. And Ford is one of the most well-known truck companies in the world. One of the most well-known. Even if it's not the best truck company, people buy it just because it's Ford. Simple like that. Apple. There's a lot of people that buy Apple simply because it's Apple.
I personally like my iPhone.
Yeah, I like my iPhone. I got an iPad, tablet, the Note, all that stuff. But some people don't buy it just because of the quality of it. They buy it because of the name of it. Because it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. It's people that use Samsung and stuff like that. Not because they don't like Apple, or some of them don't like Apple, but because they was initially introduced to Samsung. So they say, I'm comfortable with Samsung, I like how Samsung works, so I'm going to stay with Samsung. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People have been preconditioned to use certain things, to think certain ways.
It's internal programming.
Yeah. So they stick with what they know. And we have a habit of sticking with what we know. But the thing about it is, you don't know much when you think about it. You don't know much. I don't know half the stuff right now in my life that from 2 years ago. My whole life, my whole mindset, everything about life has changed within the last 2 years of my life. But if you would ask me 2 years ago, I would thought I knew a lot of shit. I was going around talking to everybody like, hey, how do you feel about that? I thought I knew a lot. But now, I realize I ain't know much about nothing.
No, because the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, the more you have questions. Now it's like, okay, well now I know this, but now how was this way? Now I got to figure out that. And it's a continual growth. And people don't want to be continual. They want to be...
They want to be consistent. And consistent is a good thing, but in the right frames and the right things in life.
But why can't you be consistently growing?
Because nobody's been taught to grow. People aren't being taught to grow anymore. People think, okay, you go to college, you go to high school, whatever, finish high school, get you a job. Either you get to a job or you go to college. And once you figure out what that is, once you figure out, okay, you go to college, okay, because you never told why you're going to college, you end up changing your major 3 times, or you end up staying twice as much as you're supposed to be doing in college, or you end up getting your degree. Let's say you get in a proper amount of time. A 4-year degree, you get in 4 years. You get to that degree field and realize this is not what I want to do. I know so many people like that.
Yeah, I got a degree in biology. I'm not using it.
So many people like that. Because they're not taught at the beginning, okay. For one, at the beginning, people are taught, don't follow your dreams. You're not going to get anywhere with them. What did you want to be?
I don't know. I was always taught to follow my dreams and that I was the best. Like,
what did you want to be at 12 years old?
At 12, I was supposed to be a heart surgeon.
What?
I was supposed to be a cardiac.
Then why didn't you follow it?
Why didn't I follow that? Because I realized I didn't like blood.
But
then it was like, there was never a dream that was less than for me. There was, I wanted to be a doctor, or I wanted to do law, or like my major, when I hit 16, my major thing, I wanted to be CEO of marketing at AT&T in Chicago. I wanted to be over the building, the AT&T, like that's what I wanted to do. What happened? I don't know.
What did you want to be at 8 years old?
At 8? Probably the same. I was supposed to be a doctor.
What did you want to be at 5?
At 5? Probably an actress.
Why did they change from 5 to 8?
Huh? Because my grandma wanted me to be a doctor.
Improvement. Precondition. So you at 5, you wanted to be a actress, and that's what your passion was. And at 5, that's one of the people when people are their most radiant in life. They can believe in anything. Whatever.
But okay, I see where you're going.
But grandma told you between 5 and 8, okay, I wanted you to be a doctor. It'd be something good for you. So you adopted that thought and started believing in that thought. But it took you off your path. Because it's not initially what you want to do. It's not what your dream was. It's not what your passion was. So you end up finding out 10 years later that I don't really care for blood. Why do I want to be a doctor? Because your grandma told you want to be a doctor.
I understand the programming. No. I'm following you. I'm tracking with the programming. I completely believe in that.
But,
so it's just like once. It's just developing or not understanding that the programming until the later age. It's if I would have understood this at 8, then that would have been something different, or at 15 or 16 or whatever. But the fact that I've just really understood it within the last couple of years, the programming is like, okay, well, how do you make up for that lost time? How do you do it now?
You don't. You can't make up for lost time. You just start. You acknowledge it and you start and you drive. You leave there's no option for you not to. And that's how you be successful. That's why Michael Jordan is as good as he is, as good as he was. He left no option that he was going to be better. He had every belief in his heart, his mind, his whole being that he was going to be the best person to play basketball. He took the time out that it took. He trained, he practiced while everybody else was sleeping, while everybody else was partying. He was practicing. He was trying to find out, how can I make the best of this situation? How can I get better? How can I shoot so I can't miss? How can I cross over everybody that even come and step in front of me? How can I fucking dunk on everybody that did son of the goal trying to stop me from scoring? He said, nobody's going to stop me from scoring. I'm going to figure out everything about scoring. Nobody's going to be able to stop me. And he had that made up in his mind. And you couldn't stop him. You couldn't. And that's why he became great instead of good. You couldn't stop him. He had it made up in his mind that this is what I want to be. Nobody's going to stop me. And that's what you do. It's not too late. You can still make up in your mind, okay, this is what I want to do. Nobody's going to stop me. But think about it now, because of preconditioning, it's going to be hard for you to stay focused on it. It would have been easy for you at 5 years old to say, I want to be an actor. And if everybody came around you and say, yeah, you can be an actor, and kept promoting you, whatever, you probably be an actor by now. A good one at that. Because they would have prepped you for it, prepared you for it. You would have been prepared for it mentally. You've been practicing all the time. You've been watching movies. You've been going to recitals, rehearsals, practice, all that stuff, all these years. So now you would have been an actor. More than likely. But it's harder now because you got all these distractions. You got work, your 9 to 5, you got your kids, you got whoever you're in a relationship with, all this stuff distracting you from focusing on being that.
I'm with you.
So what is your passion? What is your dream? What is your desire?
What is like my, I don't know.
Your real
Yeah,
desire.
I don't know.
Is it the one you had at 5 years old that you thought was impossible now?